We have Rahul, who will take you through the various applications of machine learning and how you can be a machine learning engineer.
Machine learning has improved our lives in a number of wonderful ways. Today, let's talk about some of these. I'm Rahul from Simplilearn, and these are the top 10 applications of machine learning. First, let's talk about virtual personal assistants. Google Assistant, Alexa, Cortana, and Siri. Now, we've all used one of these at least at some point in our lives. Now, these help improve our lives in a great number of ways. For example, you could tell them to call someone. You could tell them to play some music. You could tell them to even schedule an appointment. So how do these things actually work? First, they record whatever you're saying, send it over to a server, which is usually in a cloud, decode it with the help of machine learning and neural networks, and then provide you with an output. So if you've ever noticed that these systems don't work very well without the internet, that's because the server couldn't be contacted. Next, let's talk about traffic predictions. Now say I wanted to travel from Buckingham Palace to Lord's Cricket Ground. The first thing I would probably do is to get on Google Maps. So search it. And let's put it here. So here we have the path you should take to get to Lord's Cricket Ground. Now here the map is a combination of red, yellow and blue. Now the blue regions signify a clear road, that is, you won't encounter traffic there. The yellow indicate that they are slightly congested, and red means they're heavily congested. So let's look at the map, a different version of the same map. And here, as I told you before, red means heavily congested, yellow means slow moving, and blue means clear. So how exactly is Google able to tell you that the traffic is clear, slow moving or heavily congested? So this is with the help of machine learning and with the help of two important measures. First is the average time that's taken on specific days at specific times on that route. The second one is the real-time location data of vehicles from Google Maps and with the help of sensors. Some of the other popular map services are Bing Maps, Maps.me, and here we go. Next up, we have social media personalization. So say I want to buy a drone, and I'm on Amazon and I want to buy a DJI Mavic Pro. The thing is, it's close to 1 lakh, so I don't want to buy it right now. But the next time I'm on Facebook, I'll see an advertisement for the product. Next time I'm on YouTube, I'll see an advertisement. Even on Instagram, I'll see an advertisement. So here, with the help of machine learning, Google has understood that I'm interested in this particular product. Hence, it's targeting me with these advertisements. This is also with the help of machine learning. Let's talk about email spam filtering. Now, this is the spam that's in my inbox. Now, how does Gmail know what's spam and what's not spam? So Gmail has an entire collection of emails which have already been labeled as spam or not spam. So after analyzing this data, Gmail is able to find some characteristics like the word lottery or winner. From then on, any new email that comes to your inbox goes through a few spam filters to decide whether it's spam or not. Now, some of the popular spam filters that Gmail uses is content filters, header filters, general blacklist filters, and so on. Next, we have online fraud detection. Now, there are several ways that online fraud can take place. For example, there's identity theft, where they steal your identity, fake accounts, where these accounts only last for how long the transaction takes place and stop existing after that, and man-in-the-middle attacks, where they steal your money while the transaction is taking place. The feed-forward neural network helps determine whether a transaction is genuine or fraudulent. So what happens with feed-forward neural networks are that the outputs are converted into hash values, and these values become the inputs for the next round. So for every real transaction that takes place, there's a specific pattern. A fraudulent transaction would stand out because of the significant changes that it would cause with the hash values. Stock market trading. Machine learning is used extensively when it comes to stock market trading. Now you have stock market indices like Nikkei. They use long short-term memory neural networks. Now these are used to classify, process and predict data when there are time lags of unknown size and duration. Now this is used to predict stock market trends. Assistive medical technology. Now, medical technology has been innovated. With the help of machine learning, diagnosing diseases has been easier, from which we can create 3D models that can predict where exactly there are lesions in the brain. It works just as well for brain tumors and ischemic stroke lesions. They can also be used in fetal imaging and cardiac analysis. Now, some of the medical fields that machine learning will help assist in is disease identification, personalized treatment, drug discovery, clinical research, and radiology. And finally, we have automatic translation. Now say you're in a foreign country and you see billboards and signs that you don't understand. That's where automatic translation comes of help. Now how does automatic translation actually work? The technology behind it is the same as the sequence-to-sequence learning, which is the same thing that's used with chatbots. Here the image recognition happens using convolutional neural networks and the text is identified using optical character recognition. Furthermore, the sequence-to-sequence algorithm is also used to translate the text from one language to the other. And today I'm going to tell you how you can become a machine learning engineer. But before we begin, let me tell you what a machine learning engineer actually does. A machine learning engineer creates and maintains machine learning solutions to solve business problems. They constantly tweak and optimize the solutions for maximum performance and scalability. They solve business problems like reducing customer churn, running targeted marketing campaigns, and improving product experience. They also help with predicting whether a particular hypothesis will be profitable in the future. They contribute to cutting-edge research in AI and machine learning. Now, before you can start off on your journey to becoming a machine learning engineer, there's a certain number of steps that you need to follow. On this learning path, your first step is to improve your math skills. Mathematics plays a very important role in helping you understand how machine learning and its algorithms work. Among the many concepts that you need to understand, three of the most important ones are probability and statistics, linear algebra, and calculus. Now, let's have a detailed look at probability and statistics. Firstly, you have the Bayes theorem. This is used in the naive Bayes algorithm to help categorize your data. Then we have probability distribution. This helps you determine how frequently a particular event will take place. For example, you can determine what your premium for your insurance will be based on the probability distribution of expenditure pertaining to insurance claims. You must also learn how sampling and hypothesis testing works. Now, let's look at linear algebra. Now, linear algebra has two main concepts, matrices and vectors. They both used widely in machine learning. Now, matrices are used for image recognition where the entire image that you're using is already in the form of a matrix. You need to be able to work with matrices, perform simple operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, inverse, transpose, and so on. Now, the recommender systems that you see in applications like Netflix or Amazon actually work on vectors. This vector is the customer behavior vectors and they use distance measures. Now, let's have a closer look at calculus. You have differential calculus and integral calculus. Now, these help in determining the probability of events. For example, in finding the posterior probability in a naive-Bayes model. In your next step to becoming a machine learning engineer, you need to develop good programming skills. And let me tell you, there are a huge number of options from which you can choose. There's Python, there's C, there's C#, there's Java, and so much more. Now here's a graph of the job postings from 2014 to 2017. And you can see that there are two languages that dominate since 2015, Python and R. Now these are one of the most wanted languages when it comes to machine learning engineers. These are closely followed by JavaScript and C. Hence, we would like to recommend that you learn Python and R as they're the best options when it comes to coding in machine learning algorithms. So here are a few things that you need to know about Python and R. Python is an object-oriented language, which means their main emphasis is on the object. R is a functional language, which means their emphasis is on creating and manipulating functions. Python relies on its many packages, and R is slightly faster than Python because it has inbuilt packages. Now, Python is generic and is suitable if you need to integrate it with any other software. R works a little more closer with statistical analysis. Your next step is to get yourself some data engineering skills. Now, these skills are important as they help you analyze and process your data as soon as you get it. Now, there are three major steps when it comes to data engineering. Firstly, there's data pre-processing. Now, these refer to all the steps that you need to perform before data can be processed by the machine learning algorithm. You have cleaning, parsing, correcting, and consolidating the data. Then you have ETL or extract, transform, and load. You need to know how data can be extracted from the internet or a local server. You need to know how to transform the data. For example, not all formats of data would be accepted by the program. So you need to convert the data into a format that is accepted by the program. Then you need to know how the data is loaded into your program. The final step is to have knowledge about database management softwares or DBMS. You need to be well versed with MySQL, the Oracle database, and NoSQL. Your next step is to learn machine learning algorithms. Now, among all the machine learning algorithms that you can see on screen, you can divide them into two different categories. Ones that fall under supervised machine learning and the others that fall under unsupervised machine learning. Even after such a division, you can further subdivide them into classification and regression algorithms. Now all algorithms except linear regression fall under the category of classification, which is used to determine whether a particular data falls into a particular category. On the other hand, you have linear regression that falls under regression algorithms. This is used to predict a particular value. Then you have k-means clustering and hierarchical clustering. Now these fall in the category of clustering. This is used to group data into clusters based on certain similar attributes. Then you have the a priori algorithm that falls under the concept of association. Association is used to determine patterns of association among variables in large data sets. So now that you know about these algorithms, let me tell you where you can learn about them. Let's take a look at our Simplilearn channel and let's go to playlists. And on this, we have a dedicated set of playlists that talk about machine learning. Here you have videos on machine learning, how machine learning is different from deep learning and artificial intelligence, machine learning with Python, k-means clustering, decision trees, and so on. If you want to learn more, you could also go through some deep learning algorithms like convolutional neural networks, recurrent neural networks, long short-term memory networks, and so on. In fact, we have a detailed playlist that talks about the concepts of deep learning. Here you can find videos on what is deep learning, TensorFlow, what is a neural network, convolutional neural networks, and recurrent neural networks. Now after you master these algorithms, you need to learn how you can select the right algorithm for your problem. Then you need to create a good model with one or more algorithms. After which you need to keep tweaking and optimizing the model so that you can get the maximum accuracy. For further reading, you can go through GitHub where there's more than 21,000 repositories under machine learning. You can also recreate published research papers, adding to your experience of working with machine learning. And now for your last step, learning machine learning frameworks. Machine learning frameworks help make the lives of developers as well as users a whole lot easier. They help remove the complex part of machine learning and make it available for everyone who wants to use it, be it developers or other users. Now let's look at the widely used machine learning frameworks. There's TensorFlow, Theano, Torch, Scikit-learn, and so on. Now let's look at some of them in detail. First, let's look at TensorFlow. TensorFlow is the most widely used machine learning framework. It's used for machine learning as well as deep learning. Now it's an open source software library which performs numerical computations, which is done with the help of data flow graphs. Google Translate is one of the most popular use cases of TensorFlow. Now let's look at Theano. Theano helps you define, optimize, and evaluate mathematical expressions. It was developed in the University of Montreal. Lasagne, Blocks, and Keras are its most popular libraries. Now let's look at Spark ML library. Now this is Apache Spark's machine learning component. It also provides libraries for machine learning which are built on top of RDDs or resilient distributed datasets. It's very good at providing iterative computation and provides very high algorithmic performance. Now let's look at Scikit-learn. Scikit-learn is able to provide a huge range of supervised as well as unsupervised algorithms for machine learning. It is built on existing libraries like NumPy, SciPy, and Matplotlib. Scikit-learn actually started off as a Google Summer of Code project and now has 23,000 GitHub commits. And that's it. Congratulations, you're now a machine learning engineer. Now let's look at the job opportunities in machine learning. Now if you have a look at this graph, it kind of speaks for itself. Before 2015, machine learning was much less popular than big data and cloud computing. But all of that suddenly changed. And right now, a machine learning engineer earns around $114,000 per annum. And this is a clear indication that organizations are ready to invest heavily in people who are skilled in the concepts of machine learning. You can also make the learning process easier by using Simplilearn's machine learning certification. Simplilearn's machine learning certification course provides 36 hours of instructor-led training, provides 25 plus hands-on exercises, gives you practical applications of 15 plus machine learning algorithms, and helps you master the concepts of supervised and unsupervised learning. It also introduces you to artificial intelligence, tells you the techniques of machine learning, data processing, regression, classification, and so much more. So if you want to take your first step to getting certified and getting ahead.
Thanks, Rahul.